these can't be real people. I've been looking forward. Obviously, I've played these games and I commentate on them afterwards, so I almost have had a bit of a backlog of games to commentate on. These people, honest to God, they cannot be real. There's an assortment of morons that play Marvel Rivals, and it blows my mind. So this is going to be a new series alongside the Road to Grandmaster, just highlighting the lunatics that are here. Now, sorry to start us from so far back, I just wanted to show you. So, I've decided in the pre-select phase to play as Venom. This person decided to play as Thor. We both clicked basically at the same time. And then the third person picked to play Penny Parker. Now, they are messaging, and I wish these recordings showed messages that were going back and forth, because it would really help prove what I'm saying, give some context, etc. These people are now messaging about who's going to play who. Now, no one has the right to tell anyone to play any particular character. However, if you are going to get to a high rank, and maybe these people never will, they'll get stuck somewhere around here. If you're going to get to a high rank, you need to be able to play a handful of every class, basically. I'd say maybe at least 3 from DPS, Strat, and Vanguard. This clearly isn't the case for these people. They're incapable of playing anything else. DPS are the worst for it, but there are definitely people out there that can only play Strat or only play Vanguard, and it's infuriating. So to give you a bit of backstory, after the Emma Frost competitive loss that I recently posted, I had one more competitive loss, right? That was because my teammate Brands, who were playing 6 versus 5, and Ibs was on the other team. Ibs was a fairly competent Penny Parker player, so although it was heavily outnumbered, we were never going to win it, so it doesn't really show how good they were. I saw they were competent. That person messaged me and Thor saying, would one of you switch? Why they were immune to switching, I really don't know, but would one of you switch please? It was a polite message, and luckily for them, I'm a very good invisible woman, so I thought, instead of getting into this, I'll make the switch. But the response that came from Thor wound me up. And it's rare, to be honest, that I let Marvel Rivals wind me up. There's always something stupid happening in quick play. You can't really let it get you, because there are that many lunatics playing this game that you just can't, for me anyway, with my temperament, I'd constantly just be annoyed, because they just don't, people aren't team players. They just, honestly, they wreck the game, and this game made me start to think, to be honest, maybe, I was against this before, maybe they should put role queuing in. That way then, people would be forced into learning another role once their role was taken for that particular game, and maybe there wouldn't be such a toxic atmosphere of people constantly commenting, oh, I need more healing, I need this, I need that, because once they actually spent time playing that role, they might see it's more difficult than they thought. But the Thor player messaged in the chat, I won't be switching from Vanguard because I'm nearly Lord with Thor. Now to me, that's absolutely irrelevant. I don't care that you're nearly Lord or not. There could be someone in this lobby, in our team, that's played Thor since day one and is way, way better than you. And what if everyone did that? What if everyone was just about to lord a particular character as a tank? So all 6 of us selected tank, and none of us would switch. We all just refused. I thought that was the most arrogant, oh, build the team around me, guys, because I'm nearly Lord. Yeah, you can all work around me. There's no way I'm switching. It wasn't good reasoning. There is no good reason to ever say I'm not going to be switching, this is the character I'm playing. You have to, if you want to be good, like I said in comp, be flexible, play different roles when needed. But I just thought that was so self-centered and such a crazy, useless excuse for, oh, I won't be switching, unbelievable to me. And then the icing on the cake, I chose to play Venom, they were asking for people to switch. I don't remember if they specifically asked for Strat or not. I think they did. Anyway, I was going to play Invisible Woman regardless as a second pick. As soon as 5 of us had chosen, who did our 6th teammate pick? Venom. So we've gone full circle. Now we've got 3 Vanguards anyway, when 2-2-2 is generally the best comp. 3 Vanguards. This guy's playing Venom, even though I switched out of playing Venom. And to top it all off, the Venom is going, at the moment, 3-1, right? That is about as good as it got this game for that guy. Now, unfortunately, like I said about people being toxic and things in here, the Venom, I believe, switches characters multiple times. He ends up playing, or she is Magic. Was it Mr. Fantastic? I can't remember. We'll soon see. These players, and surprise, surprise, I'll let you know who the 2 were. It was the person playing Thor. What is their name? Kedar. The person playing Thor, and I believe it was Ibs as well, the Penny Parker player, plus maybe 1 or 2 others even. I'm not the type of person to be messaging in the chat, particularly during the game. All that's going to do, I want to win. All that's going to do is throw everyone off. I don't want to see people standing around doing nothing because they're typing back and forth, arguing. And I don't want to be seeing people not playing their best because they are, like you say, beefing. They're going back and forth with whoever in a chat. There's literally no point to it. I just want these people to do their best so I can get out the platinum and leave all of them behind, to be honest with you, because I guarantee this is where most of them will stay. So I just want them to crack on. If I really feel, which I did in this game, to be honest, I don't normally bother, but if I really, really feel like it's worth messaging, I will message, and I'll do it right at the end of the game, which I did here. Told that Kedar person, you've got to be more of a team player. It's not all about you. Obviously, they couldn't just accept that. The responses were, mind your own business. If I only want to play Thor, then I'm just going to play Thor. I carried the team, etc., etc. All the usual stuff that you'd expect. But to me, this decision, Cyclops has come out recently. It's the same as someone saying, well, I really like Cyclops. I'm trying to load Cyclops. He's the only person I'm going to play. It just doesn't fly in comp. If you want to do that in quick play, it's annoying enough, but try and do it there. Yeah, I don't know if you can load through practice mode. Go and do that. But yeah, they were all over, so spending their time messaging. They were all over the person playing Venom. Singlet, I believe it is. So I think now they're playing Punisher. They were all over them. They were messaging them all the time. How did you get to platinum? You're not good enough. Surely this is a joke. Blah, blah, blah. Like, just showed me what type of people they were, you know. Selfish, arrogant, ignorant people. In terms of playing amongst the team, but also toxic people because they were constantly messaging, berating other people. And I don't know if you've ever been on the receiving end of this yourself, but let's just say you're not playing the best you've ever played. You happen to have an off game. With Singlet, I really don't know. I think all the games might be off, to be honest, but let's say you're having an off game. That Singlet might have been good in general. I mean, we're all in the same rank, so, you know, maybe we're as good as each other. I'm not sure, but you don't need people messaging you. And to be honest with you, sometimes, in particular games, even before they've started, I turn all comms off. No one at this level is telling me anything that I don't know. No one's telling me anything that's going to be that beneficial. I can see the game changing. I can see people switching characters to counter others. I don't need the advice, is what I'm saying, from people in Platinum 3. And that's not in a big-headed way. It's just that I don't, yeah? It's in the same way I don't need advice from someone in Bronze. I know what I'm doing. I'm picking the characters that I'm good at. I know I'm benefiting the team. But when you start getting messages from opponents, what am I on about? When you start getting messages from teammates telling you how bad you are and how you're letting the team down, how you're not good enough for the rank and stuff, it obviously isn't boosting your confidence and making you play better. So I don't believe in doing it. I don't see the point in it, whether they're playing well or not. at most maybe message and say something is like, you know, any chance there's someone else you could play, just in a polite way. There's no point kicking off, you know what I mean? You're distracting yourself while you're messaging. You're distracting them, because now, if anything, they double down on playing that particular character that you don't want them to play, and they play it worse because they're stuck in their own head about it. But yeah, where are we now? What are the stats on this? So the Cloak and Dagger is currently the ace. They are 11 and 4 with 20,000 healing. I've also got 20,000 healing, and I'm going 8 and 3. The Thor is 14 and 4, the Penny's 14 and 6. Magic Singlet has now changed to, is 4 and 6, so that's what people meant. Obviously it wasn't any help, but yeah, chatting them isn't going to get us anywhere. And the Mr. Fantastic is 11 and 7, so at the moment we're not having the most luck with our DPS, to be honest with you. That's not going particularly well. But yeah, obviously did pretty well anyway throughout the first half. Oh, it's been a lot of talking this morning. This is the second video that I've commentated. I just did the Emma Frost one. I was tired before I even started, so here we go. Nice to see a Storm Lord on the opposite team. I'm a Storm Lord, playing Flyers, modern day. To be honest with you, I think the only one that is actually playable anymore is Human Torch. Storm, I feel bad for Storm because I really like her as a character. She's very powerful. She's underrepresented in the films, without a doubt. I mean, they show her with a couple of lightning bolts per film, and that's it. That's as far as her skill set goes. But she's an Omega level mutant. She, you know, she's powerful enough. She could take the wind out of people's lungs if she wanted, the air out of their lungs, and kill them that way. She's got global weather powers. She could destroy the earth, you know, and yet in the film she doesn't ever seem to do a hell of a lot. But in Rivals, she just become unplayable, I think, at a high level, because she doesn't have, for me anyway, this is my play style, you've got to have one of the two here, either a solid block or a good escape. So perfect examples of that. If you want to compare Human Torch, since they've added that dash for him, he can go very quickly in one direction, and obviously it can get you out of a lot of trouble. Cyclops, I think they've massively overdeveloped his kit, I gotta be honest. I haven't seen that X-Men 97, maybe he can do all of this in that, but yeah, 1 minute he can fly upwards with a beam, he can fly backwards with a beam, he can do all sorts of movement considering he just has eye powers, and yet Storm, who literally controls the wind, feels like one of the slowest characters in the game. She should have a very quick escape, something where the wind carries her away, out of danger. That would be amazing, and I honestly think she'd be more than viable as a character again. She'd be easily playable. I'd happily return to playing as her, but in honesty, the last couple of times I've played as her, it hasn't gone well at all. And yeah, okay, again, no matter what character I talk about here, there are probably people in Rivals, not probably, there are definitely people in Rivals that play it better than I do, but I've played Storm since the day this game came out. I am of a high caliber with her, I know what I'm doing, I'm a good Storm player. Yeah, just in general, she hasn't got enough, there is no block. Like a lot of other, I know it's normally Vanguards, but like Emma Frost, for example, with the diamond shield, there's no block for her, there's no escape for her, so really she's a bit of a sit-in duck at the moment, and I hope, I saw a stat the other day that she's like, I think the lowest pick rate DPS at the moment, so I hope that the devs see that and realise that they need to change her kit. Look how involved some of the kit is on new characters like Cyclops, Black Cat in particular, and look how basic some of the older characters' kits are. It's hardly fair. I mean, I know for some of them it works, but some of them clearly need to be brought into the modern day, I feel. Going back to Invisible Woman, I absolutely love how she plays, honestly. So very rinse repeat, very simple and just effective. So you drop the force bubble amongst the opponents and just watch it constantly tick away doing damage. If you start taking hits from a distance, you click circle on the PlayStation and it puts your shield up in front of you, blocks incoming projectiles and heals you. Constantly fire. One thing for me, I'm always holding primary fire no matter what role I'm in. So reason being, once when I was playing Hulk, a Spider-Man with like 1 health tried to fly past me to escape a battle, and because I was already punching, it killed him. It stops you being taken by surprise, and with Invisible Woman, you're constantly either healing or doing damage, which is perfect. So constantly primary firing. More often than not, I like force pulling the enemy team toward you because it displaces them. They don't expect it, especially the characters that are heavily reliant on movement. So that's a nice thing to do. There's not, I don't know, sometimes this game, well, not sometimes, you can see it aggravates me a lot. I always get comments about, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's someone who's in the same rank as me telling me how to play. Oh, you need to peel, you need to do this, you weren't doing that enough. There's always feedback from people that I doubt have ever got out of Platinum. And like I said, I've had the, oh, you need to peel more feedback in the past. And yet whenever I'm playing Strat, I don't feel like anyone peels. You can see how often the thing runs up to me, and then it's a 1v1, me and him. I don't know where everyone else is. This is part of what my gripe was against the Penny and the Thor. And yeah, salt in the wound for me. Can you play someone else off that Penny player? I know they are playing Venom anyway. So yeah, very, very frustrating pair, these tanks. Hopefully I never play with them again. But yeah, sorry, going back to Invisible Woman, if they're hitting from far, you put the shield up with circle. If they're hitting close up, you double jump away, become invisible, that heals you too. On occasion, you push away from you, like if you're trying to win a point and you're right at the end, push them away so they're not contesting it. But most of the time, I pull them toward, just because it displaces them, pulls them toward the bulk of your team, and the team can wipe them out there. But yeah, this again was a very competitive game. It took a while for us to get that first point. As you can see, we were into overtime. Enemy team playing very, very well, but so are we on the whole. Like I said, where's the stats at now? Oh god, they've changed now to... So the only ones I've spotted so far, they've been Venom, Punisher, Magic. Now they're Black Widow, and they're going 9 and 12, Singlet. Mr. Fantastic is going 20 and 11. Strat-wise, I'm going 17 and 4. Cloak and Dagger going 24 and 6. Thor 28 and 7. Venom 22 and 10. So overall pretty good stats, but I think you can see where this is going now. We've got them pinned up against their own spawn while the goats pull along to the next point. There's not much they can really do here, in fairness. They're pinned down, they're trying their best to get back to fighting in the area that they need to fight. I've got an ult just sitting there waiting. I think I use it in a second, surely I wouldn't let this go without using it. Cloak and Dagger just ulted, I believe, yeah. So I think this is why I'm holding off. Oh, there we are. Put it right outside their spawn just so we can camp it, basically, for the last few seconds. And that's job done. Game over. So, point 1 to point 2, extremely easy. One of the quickest points ever. But starting to point 1, difficult, in fairness. Can't see the stats a sec while it shows this this victory screen, but I know at the time I was absolutely tamping. There we are. So MVP somehow ended up being that Ibs guy. I don't know. I don't like it when that happens, when you've been MVP for ages, like Cloak and Dagger were, and then you lose it right at the last second. But yeah, so between me and them, I guess, as the strats and the other two, I've done the most damage in the game. I've got the lowest damage blocked of the game, but I've done the most damage, and I've got 35,000 healing with 58% accuracy. So played well overall. Was proud of my performance in there, and like I said, proud even more that I was comfortable enough and competent enough to make the switch, that I have taught myself different characters from different roles, so that when nonsense like this happens, I can fill and I can carry the game forward and actually help us get a victory. And like I said, this sort of overlaps as part of the Road to Grandmaster series, but it's also part of the, or maybe the first of the Are These People Even Real series. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Go into the comments. I want to know what you think. Am I in the right for saying that Thor was in the wrong, not switching just because he's Neely Lord, or am I in the right basically? So let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.